You're in for a treat with this one. Mirthwood comes out in 2024, and it's a medieval life sim RPG that puts a big emphasis on choice. Will you settle a new homestead to live a life of farming and trade, or pick up the sword and take up the adventurer's path? And what you uncover along the way is anyone's guess. The developers at Bad Ridge Games were inspired by titles like Harvest Moon, Fable, and RimWorld, and aimed to balance the calm and rewarding experience of farming and socializing with the thrill of exploration and combat. Our story starts after fleeing the war-torn continent Turian and arriving in the Freelands. The open world is made up of 6 diverse regions, each with their own sub-biomes. There's a full day-night cycle as well as a seasonal cycle and a weather system that can create blizzards, heat waves, and storms. The game's dynamic ecosystem will create new situations and stories as you encounter events across the world and investigate mysteries. The inspiration here comes from Bethesda-style environmental storytelling, coming across points of interest and seeing what happens when you interact with them. There are also a couple survival elements, survival light as they're calling it, namely health, stamina, and hunger bars. As for the characters of Mirthwood, there are friendly townsfolk, eccentric hermits, and some more unsavory personalities, and you can interact and build a relationship with each and every one of them. Befriend or insult townsfolk and NPCs and unlock new social interactions as your relationships grow, eventually unlocking quests and tasks from them. Each character has their own life and daily routine, so maybe you can do a little spying to get to know them better. Based on everything that's been said so far, Mirthwood will, of course, have pretty extensive character creation and customization options. In the beginning of the game, you'll choose from various appearance, origin, social class, and background options. There are 7 professions: herbalist, tinkerer, farmer, actor, criminal, fighter, and rat catcher. Each one comes with a positive and negative trait. Same thing with the 3 social classes: royal, noble, and peasant. NPCs also have all these different stats, which you can see from their little character menus here, in addition to their general mood, your relationship status, and some of their skills. Now, skills fit into one of 6 categories: melee, archery, farming, trades, social, and survival. These can be leveled up simply by performing tasks within these different categories, and you can eventually specialize in a more specific skill. Basically, the devs want you to feel that your character is a reflection of your actions, so those actions will contribute to relevant skills rather than a generic XP pool. And once you've leveled up a skill a few times, you'll be rewarded with skill cards, which serve as perks or boosts for your character. And the further you progress in a particular skill, the more fun and powerful cards you'll get. Fill up your hand with your desired cards and build your perfect character. The slots are limited, so choose carefully. Okay, that was a lot of info, but Mirthwood still manages to keep everything looking nice and clean. I think part of that is due to the game's art style, and I just want to take a moment to appreciate all these menus. I've seen some not so great UI in games, but it's so well done here, and I think the card theme really ties everything together. And we're not even done with the menus yet. As you can imagine, in an open world RPG, items and the crafting of these items are pretty important. Mirthwood has a rarity system with different colored cards to help you quickly pick out any rare or legendary gear that you have. Item cards also have their stats displayed in the bottom left, along with any special traits they may have in the bottom right. Some of these impact social behavior or offer different combat abilities, and can even be combined with your own skill cards for a more powerful effect. It's all about experimentation. As for crafting, we've only seen a little bit of that with the anvil, which lets you make your own weapons and armor. There are probably other sorts of crafting stations where you can create different types of items, maybe a stove or a cooking pot to make food, a mill to grind ingredients, or a loom for fabrics. Just some guesses. Okay, so you can create the character of your dreams and live in this fully simulated world with 4 seasons and thunderstorms, tons of items and traits, but what will you actually be doing? There are a couple main things. Of course, combat, which includes melee and ranged bow attacks, all in real time. Then there's stealing, sneaking, and thieving, managing your homestead by planting crops, raising animals, and upgrading your buildings. You can then continue on with this peaceful life by trading goods to provide for your family. But if you're not into that cozy stuff, it doesn't seem like it'll be forced upon you. Become a nomadic adventurer that takes on quests and investigates mysteries, and to end your nights in the tavern trying to woo the locals. It's all up to you. So that was Mirthwood. It seems like there's still a lot to uncover, and the devs are planning on posting some updates on things like the game's farming system, DNA system, which sounds pretty interesting, also the combat and RPG mechanics, character profiles, and just general development updates. I will definitely be covering this one as we learn more, because it honestly looks like just the type of open-ended game that I've been craving. I recently put Mirthwood into my top 10 indie games of 2024 list, so if you want to find out what the other 9 titles are, then check this out.